Good afternoon. I hope you are all well today. I wanted to talk to you about how I found natural medicine and why it is my go to for my health and wellness. For years and years, I didn't know anything other than going to your GP, getting a prescription, going to the pharmacy, filling it, and taking drugs of some description to cure diseases or regain health. I didn't know any other way existed. I didn't know that naturopaths existed. I didn't know kinesiologists existed. I didn't know about any of the natural health alternatives that were there. Now, once I'd had my two children, I started to struggle with my health. There were things going on under the surface that didn't feel normal to me. They didn't feel nourishing and life affirming and wonderful and life affirming. They just felt yuck. I felt like a shadow of my former self. Now, I know when we become parents, when we become mothers, when our body goes through that, I know that some stuff happens and our bodies do change. But this felt different. I just did not feel well. I didn't feel healthy. I didn't feel vibrant anymore at all. So, fast forward probably a good 5 or 10 years from those first moments of feeling unwell, and I was led down different paths. I happened to go to the gym with a naturopath and thought, why not? I've got to try something else. I ended up with a Chinese doctor as well. And all of a sudden, some things started falling into place for me that hadn't fallen into place for me before. Now, the big crux came when I was suffering for over 13 days a month with my menstrual cycle. I was obviously getting quite depressed, situational depression rather than what I would consider clinical depression, but I was not well. And struggling with your cycle for 13 days a month didn't feel normal to me. It didn't feel like something I should be suffering with. And that led me even further down the path. What the doctor tried to do was prescribe antidepressants. And yes, whilst I was depressed at the time, now that I look back, I can see that that wasn't the problem. Now, in all of these years of searching for answers, not one single doctor or anyone else I saw for my health asked me about my support structures, asked me about how I was looking after myself, asked me about my diet, my environment. Now, one of the things I love about kinesiology is we do go into the quantum physics space. Now, quantum physics has proven that the universe is around 4% physical matter. When we think of our bodies as that physical matter, it's 4% of the picture. So, what's the other 96%? It's your energetic environment, your emotional environment, your mental environment, your spiritual health, your relationships, your finances. It's all of those other things that feed into our lives that create health and wellness on all levels of our body. And all a doctor was trying to do was look at the 4%. And that 4% was actually had a really good picture. The blood tests were all coming back fine. They kind of didn't really know what to do with me, even though I was feeling really unwell. And that was the path for me to natural medicine. In natural medicine, I am asked about those other aspects of my life that feed into my overall well being. And my life has gone from strength to strength. Now, it's not to say that there's not still a place in my life for Western medicine. There certainly is. And I certainly do go to my GP when necessary and, talk about options for things that I'm going through. But they're no longer my first resort. they tend to be a little bit further down the list. Now, again, that doesn't work for everybody, but I've found that that works for me. I will go to my kinesiologist first. I will go and see Reiki healers or reflexologists or my naturopath or one of the other number of specialists that I have that look at health in a holistic manner. They look at my energetics. They look at my spiritual health. They look at my self-care. They look at how I'm feeling supported in my relationships or not, as the case sometimes is, because we're in relationships with other humans. And when we're feeling stressed and messy and vulnerable, and the other person in our relationship is feeling stressed and messy and vulnerable, it can create fireworks. And it can create a feeling of not being as supported as we would like, which is actually a really important part of healing. Because if I'm not giving myself the care and love and nurturing that I need, I can't just not be there fully for myself, but I may not be able to show up as the partner I would like to be for my partner or the mother I would like to be for my children. So I love looking at health, at my wellness, at my ease in life, rather than dis-ease with life, in that holistic manner. I don't want to just look at the physical body and physical ailments. I want to look at what the whole picture is telling me. Because for me, then, rather than just a black or a white, I get to use shades of gray. I get to use lots of different colors. I gain a deeper understanding of myself. I understand on a deeper level what I need for my health. And whether that ends up being Western medicine or whether it ends up being supplements and herbs that I work on with my naturopath, or whether that be energy healing, whatever form it takes, I can tell you, I have never felt more well, more healthy, more vibrant, more connected to myself and connected to spirit than ever before. Like I say, this path isn't for everybody, but I really wanted to share my story. When you come and see a holistic practitioner, they are looking at that whole picture. How are you feeling supported by your support structures? Do you have friends and family to have your back when things are going tough? Have you been through a number of grief experiences of late? Or is there something else going on that is manifesting in the physical body as a misalignment or a lack of ease or a dis-ease? And what can we do about it? Some of the biggest shifts I've had have just been because I've had somebody hold space for me whilst I've spoken. And as I've spoken and as I've been heard and energetically held, I've felt things fall away and shift and change. I've had aha moments because all of a sudden I've seen how I have helped create some of those moments in my life, or how I have at least contributed to them. So for me, holistic health and natural health is a much, much bigger picture, and all different aspects have a part to play. And having felt like I've been let down by doctors on a number of quite major health issues that I've had in my life, there is that seed of doubt as to whether or not they are the best people for me to have on my health team. Anyway, I'm sending you lots of love. I don't know if this resonates with you, but if it does, drop some comments or contact me with questions. I'm here to help. I'm here to be of service. Lots of love.